Oh, wait, can you, wait, hold on.
Oh my God.
You're trading
Hold on,
teams.
please.
What's happening, y'all? Welcome back to Sports Are Fun. I'm your host, Kelley O'Hara.
I'm the personality hire, BJ Beckwith.
I'm Greydy Diaz, aka Midrange Mommy.
And today we are joined by Darian Jenkins, former professional player and CBS analyst.
Woo!
Let's go. With CBS Sports.
It was
I messed
close.
that up. Okay,
yeah,
cool.
it's okay.
All right, if you had to give your own intro, what would it be?
I came up with this pretty quick, but wannabe Beyonce backup dancer
Let's
because
go.
I am obsessed with every tour she does. I want to be Blue Ivy. Like, yeah, she's killing it.
So you
I
could
love
dance?
to dance. I can do a little something.
Okay,
I
I
do
like
love
it.
to dance. No, in my retirement, something I've picked up is going to dance classes.
Okay, you have.
cool.
Yeah,
We got
I love like a
line
hip hop,
dancing
a
then.
house dance. Yeah,
Let's do it.
let's do it.
Okay. Have you been to Cowboy Carter tour yet?
Not yet.
I
It's
went last
this
weekend.
go?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
just went.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna go to a different city.
Okay.
Yeah,
I don't
feel
know.
like
At
it's
MetLife,
fun.
I was like,
MetLife is also
wasn't-
so hard to
wasn't
get
that
to.
great?
it's
out
so
the way.
hard. It's brutal to get to.
All right, well, we're going to see you maybe one day on stage with Beyonce, but you're here today and we are catching up on all things that happened last week in the sports world, which, as always, a lot has happened. We're going to be talking WNBA tip-off, some shakeups in the NWSL standings. Did mustard packets potentially help a team through to the PWHL finals? But first, we got to start with the WNBA in honor of the tip-off, regular season tipping off. First game was that we want to go over, Fever versus Sky. BJ, tell me how you feel.
Uh-oh.
Dusted
Let's
off.
Don't tell me
let's
everything
let
right
Grady
now.
go first.
Well,
Let me ease into it.
So Fever Sky lined up against each other. Caitlin Clark had a triple-double. Angel Reese had a double-double. And the Fever won. But what everyone's been talking about post the game is the foul that Caitlin Clark committed on Angel Reese.
The what? The flagrant.
Flagrant
foul.
one. Excuse me.
Thank you.
You're right. So Caitlin Clark had a foul on Angel Reese under the basket. It got upgraded to a flagrant one. Aaliyah Boston came to her defense because Reese got up and was kind of going for Caitlin. So a lot of chatter around this. And I liked the spice. Like, I liked the intensity
too.
of it.
Me too.
You know, when you're between those lines, it's the game.
Yeah.
So anything, like it was a basketball play, as they both said.
Right.
However, it was flagrant. It happens in basketball.
100%.
You know what I mean? However, I think it was the reaction that we saw on social that really, elevated it.
Yeah, and unfortunately, this is a rivalry. This rivalry like feeds families. We love
They're
it.
playing 5 times this season.
yeah.
Yeah, they're using this
really?
rivalry.
They're getting the
for-
most
Has
out
been
of
playing
this.
5 times.
League's
Yeah.
getting the most out of this.
Oh, absolutely.
For sure. So I'm curious, Darian. I was like, I loved seeing Angel get up and be like, have that spice and have that intensity. But I also, and because I like that, like I like watching
I
it.
do
It's
too.
entertaining.
Kelly,
right?
I know you like that. I played it numerous times.
No, for sure.
We know.
For sure. But then a part of me is like, Angel, like you take the foul and go and just put away your 2 buckets and be like, if you want to keep doing that, keep doing it. You know, like part of me.
Yeah, but she's a spicy player.
No, I know.
And I love seeing the passion. Like I
Right,
don't
that's what
mind.
I feel. I'm like,
I
that's what
don't
it
mind the
is.
reaction. Like
I don't either.
You're fueling it. You're fueling this rivalry, and we should be excited about that. Especially in women's sports, I feel like it's always play nice, be proper,
Right.
Don't swear. Just walk away. The foul's okay.
Right. No, I love it.
you never see that in the men's game. They're heated all the time. They get in fights in the men's game,
sure.
which we don't want to see that. But I'm here for it. Like, bring the energy.
I
It's
am
only
too.
going to make it increase after each and every game.
Right. And the game is mental too. So if somebody knocks you down, oh no, we're going to have some words.
Right.
Yeah.
So you don't know that you can't, try to play me like that in that sense. So Angel
sure.
is one of those players. Oh no, she's going to let you know that, that foul was felt.
Yeah.
Heard you, noted. And we're going to move on eventually.
For sure.
But no, she makes sure that she, lets you know that, okay, I see
No,
it.
yeah, I completely agree. I love the spice. But then part of me is like, is this something that Angel like will have to work on at some point?
Like, it's to her own detriment.
right. Like it's like, is it like could she play more of mind games with Caitlin, with other opponents by being like, you can hit me and it's not going to rattle me at all, like game, you
Yeah.
know? Because I love seeing the spice. I love it.
Yeah,
but
I feel like it's one of those like mental battles where can you, instead of it maybe affecting your game, can you lock that in and okay, I'm gonna remember this next play
Right.
and watch. I'm gonna hit you so hard that now you're gonna be scared to go up
Exactly.
against me in the next play.
yeah, exactly. Like you can't get a rise out of me. You
Yeah.
know? Even though I love the rise. Let me
Yeah.
just be very clear. And like I'm all for it. But it's like part of professional sports and sports in general of like, how do you play that mind game? Is it getting up and getting super aggressive and like showing that intensity and passion? Or is it like being like, do it again? Okay, I'll go make my 2 buckets.
Yeah.
You know?
I
don't
welcome
know.
it. You know, it's a physical game, and at the end of the day, these are physical players. Caitlin Clark is physical. She was physical last year. She's physical this year, clearly, but it's a grown woman's game. So you know
Grown
what?
woman's
I'm
game.
here for it all.
I'm too.
No, but
BJ,
I would
let's
be.
BJ, stand up.
I would
stand
be.
up. This is what
I can't.
BJ
My
came.
camera.
you need to.
Can
I
I
guess
stand?
they can see it. Can they see it? Yeah, come on. Sit here.
Oh wow, this is so touching.
Aw.
What are your thoughts?
Well, I do think it was a foul, flagrant foul, obvious foul.
Right.
Right.
Yeah. They
right,
all
right,
said
right.
that.
We
Yeah,
all
it
said
was
that. We all
clear.
said that. I would be remiss if I didn't say like what is unacceptable is like the Fever's behavior and like bad statements, bad sportsmanship, bad slandering on Angel. And I think they're like players, and she's playing hard, she's playing well, she's leading her team, has the
You're
best
saying
stat
players
line.
or the fans?
No, fans, the fans.
Okay.
Wow.
Like the fans
Right.
slandering
Yeah,
her is like
agreed.
unacceptable.
There's no space for that sort of behavior. There are kids at that game. There are grown people at that game. It's unacceptable. And I like that the league did put out a statement, but I like the WNBPA's statement even more.
Yeah,
Yep.
and I think
What did they say?
that's
I didn't see
bad.
that.
WNBPA is aware of reports of hateful comments at yesterday's game in Indianapolis and supports the WNBA's current investigation into this matter. Such behavior is unacceptable in our sport. Under the WNBA's no space for hate policy, we trust the league to thoroughly investigate and take swift, appropriate action to ensure a safe and welcoming environment for all.
And I
Yeah,
just
I
think
think
if Caitlyn doesn't say something, they're playing 5 times. It's
Yeah.
only gonna get worse for
Correct.
Angel, and this is directly only affecting Angel. And I think, aside from basketball, that's a mental thing that's just not fair for her to deal
I
with.
also think I agree about. I agree. But it's like the fans at the game. They're clearly, if it's Fever fans that are saying hateful things to Angel, there are Fever fans that should be able to be like point them out and report
That's
it.
what I'm saying.
You know, I'm
You
like, what's
shouldn't-
because it's like
Yeah.
there was things that happened Gotham game,
At Gotham.
hateful
That's what I was thinking,
against
with Banda.
Orlando, and they found that fan, and that
Banned.
fan isn't banned, and they were a season
Correct.
ticket holder. So it's like it's also the fans to make sure like this
Absolutely.
environment stays. You can
Yeah.
heckle, you can do like we're
For
all
sure,
for that.
for sure.
But if there's somebody saying hateful things, racist things, it's got to be reported
Absolutely.
by the people in the stands.
on a human level, like yes, you can be a fan of the game, but you see something wrong, check it. And I hope the league, like I hate that happens. It's a sport, y'all. It is a
Right.
sport. These women work so hard to get where they are. Why would you stoop that low? If you're stooping that low, you should not be allowed at a game.
No.
I think you should absolutely be banned. You should be picked out. Everybody
Right.
should know who you are. You should not be allowed at all. There's just no room for that. It's 2025. We do not need that anymore. Let this rivalry just be that.
Yeah,
100%.
And the rivalry's great.
Yeah,
Like,
let it
Yeah.
be that intensity on the court.
the flagrant foul
Yeah.
was great for the game. It was fun.
For sure.
I was having a good time.
Yeah.
But like that's the part where it's like, ooh, and every single time she touched the ball, it was like heckling, boos. Which I get.
Dejanay last year said the Indiana Fever fans are some of the nastiest.
Yeah.
So like,
Really?
oh yeah, people know this. And my thing is, we do need to call it out.
100%.
If it happens in New York when I'm at a game, it will be called out.
Yep.
You will
Right.
be escorted.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and again, the 2 girls, Angel and Caitlyn, both led their teams. They both played well. It was not the stat line Chicago wanted, but it was still a good game to watch, despite.
All right. Well, hate has no place in sport at all. So again, sports are fun. Let's remember that.
They are.
Let it come out on the court. Let people go at it. But
Free my Shayla. Angel will be back.
come on, guys. All right. Okay. Good job.
Thank you.
You did great.
Thank you so much.
Maybe we'll get you back up here
I'm
soon.
gonna take 5.
Paige had her first game in the WNBA this weekend against her childhood team, the Minnesota Lynx.
Happy Page Day.
I know. So it was Page Day. Were there any babies born? We don't know. Were they? Is it on the birth certificate?
Paige?
Yeah, Paige Beckers, Minnesota. I loved this. I saw her dad be interviewed at the game, and he said, this was her childhood dream to play in the WNBA, and for her first game to be against the team that she grew up watching is so special and so cool. Dallas lost. Unfortunately, she did take an L in her first game, but she had 10 points, 7 rebounds. Nafisa had 34 points. So it's like, obviously it's so exciting, right? I'm so excited that Paige is finally in WNBA. We get to watch her on this stage at this level. But I think that seeing her numbers versus Nafisa's, it's like,
there's a pro and there's a vet and there's a rookie.
Right,
Absolutely. Did anybody think that she was going to go off for 30 or 40 in her debut?
No, definitely not. But I think that a lot of people are like, she's a shoo-in for Rookie of the Year. And I actually don't. I think that she has to prove it because there's been even in the opening weekend, there were other rookies that had
outshined,
better points, better numbers than she did.
Yeah, I think it's very open, like first weekend of the season. But when you're a rookie coming in, it is so humbling because you're going against grown women.
Yeah.
You get humbled so quick your first few minutes. And you guys showed a funny photo of her going.
Yeah, let's see it. Let's pull it up.
It just encapsulates all of that. But you get humbled really quickly. And I think for Rookie of the Year, it's not just how many points are you putting up? It's how consistent can you be and grow throughout a longer, highly more competitive season against people that are bigger, faster, stronger, more technical than you. You have to maintain that. So it's too early to tell, but this is exactly encapsulates what being a rookie is.
For sure. And her first point wasn't as sexy as you would think. She had
the first point of the game.
She got past her defender, missed, but then she did go get her rebound and got it back up, which is amazing. And to me, that's like, she's fighting for. She's gonna have to be fighting for her points. She was getting triple teamed out there at one point.
Right.
So at the end of the day, there is an adjustment, and that's okay. But it's like you're gonna be expected to do a lot more, right? In this league.
Yeah,
So
for sure.
I think she'll be okay.
Yeah, speaking of some of the other rookies, like I was saying, we had strong performances from 2 of the Mystics players. Sonia Citron had 19 points on Friday, and Kiki Irfan had a double-double on Sunday. So this is what I'm saying. I'm like, I think a lot of people are not assuming, but kind of like writing Paige's name on Rookie
it's like
of the Year.
recency bias a little bit.
Yeah, exactly. It's like she had this championship. But again, these players showed up for their team in opening weekend. A lot of Rookie Year is about consistency. I think that a lot of rookies, can get hot because they have no idea, or they're just kind of living in the moment, right?
Yeah.
Like, it's like you get out there and you have no sense of...
You got nothing to lose.
Yeah,
You're
exactly.
happy to be there, yeah.
Exactly. So
and they don't know you. You kind of like go in unexpected.
For
You're
sure,
not
for sure.
assumed to do anything.
But who does end up being Rookie of the Year will be the one who is the most consistent and shows up week after week playing at an elite level. So it'll be interesting to see. We started here. Like, where are we going to go?
Yeah, especially with that Mystics team who is rebuilding, right?
Right.
So to see them start 2-0 is really good. I think for them, that's a great start to their season. But I think we also have to mention Brittany Sykes, who is a veteran, but she led the Mystics in both of those games with 22 against Atlanta and then 27 against the Sun. Right. So to have a leader in Brittany, I think is incredible. And I believe that those 2 rookies together, oh my goodness, they're gonna be great. I mean, they already showed us some greatness already.
Yeah, it's very exciting to watch. I'm like really excited to watch the Rookie of the Year competition and just how it plays out.
Me too.
All right, speaking of people who are not rookies, the Liberty versus Aces. Talk about two veteran teams.
That's the rivalry.
Yeah, matching up against each other. But Liberty at home versus the Aces, they come out on top 92-78. Grady, you're at the game.
I was at the game.
How was it?
It was incredible. It was ring night.
Okay,
so to
watch
watch the Liberty raise their banner for the first time ever was incredible. I was on the floor with Spike Lee. So to watch Spike Lee, I actually got a video of him from behind, just watching the moment happen. And he was capturing it on his phone. So it was just an incredible moment. I think the Liberty look good.
Yeah.
And I was a little worried about the Aces because I was like, damn, everything's obviously going through Asia right now, but that's a lot to carry.
100%.
And she shouldn't be expected to carry it on her own. No. However, Natasha Cloud,
Dude.
she went off. And she was
off.
also very unselfish in the way that she played, but still had plus 20 points. Obviously, Stewie, I believe, had 25. But again, Natasha Cloud is the difference maker.
100%.
She is bringing what we need from Benijah, who's unfortunately out right now due to injury. But Natasha Cloud is that energizer. She is that incredible defender. She's going to play on both sides of the court. And she is that energy that New York loves and needs. And she's that vocal leader.
100%. I love watching her play. I'm so glad she's in a Liberty jersey now.
She already might be
truly.
goated in New York.
Yeah. No,
Probably is. She may have been even before she came over.
yeah.
Right?
Yeah. No, it's you love to see it, and for her to come in and have that big of a game in her first game in a Liberty jersey is huge. And like we've talked about on the show, we think that she's like going to be a difference maker for the Liberty. Like you said, in preseason, going and watching their trainings, you saw from the very beginning that she was already making that difference even before games started.
For sure. But this is who she's been her entire career.
Exactly.
You know, Natasha Cloud is that vocal leader. She did that in DC, you know, for all those years, and now she's just bringing it here. And New York is so lucky to have her.
We are blessed.
So
We are
blessed.
All right. Speaking of, you know, being blessed, is A'ja Wilson not blessed because of having such a big season last year? Now she has to reach that level again to be able to achieve MVP status. Because Grady, you hit us up in the group chat. ESPN put out an article that basically said, or somebody, Katie Barnes of ESPN, when asked for an MVP prediction, she said, whether it's fair or not, it's possible that Wilson could be a victim of her own historic success this season. She has raised the bar for greatness, and as such, it's a tougher mountain to climb to win MVP again. You had thoughts on this, and I have thoughts.
I did, because I think being a victim of your own success is BS. I don't know if that happens in men's sports.
Right.
However, I do think when it comes to MVP, there are many things that are factors, and your last season is a factor, but I think it should be a very small component to.
Really?
Yes, absolutely, because I think it should be, you know, what is your team success? What is your impact? You know, where do you stand within the league? I don't think that your past success should have I don't think it should be a huge indicator of how, if you're chosen for MVP or not. I don't think that that's fully fair.
Yeah, I don't know if I like the word like victim.
Victim probably isn't the best word.
It is definitely not the best word, but also to me, what makes an MVP, an all-star, a legacy of a player is you may not have the repeat season and break every record like you did last year, but it's how do you make impact when your team's changing, when things are going wrong, that gives you that legacy, that makes you that player that we're still talking about. It's not the points, whatever. Yeah, she'll still do great. But I totally disagree that it's all contingent on matching exactly what you did last year. It's not the way sports work.
See, BJ and I think are on the other side. See, I don't
debate.
think it's, so for instance, if everybody came out and had like terrible seasons and she just was better than everybody else, but didn't even come close to what she had done in years past, okay, fine. Like she's the MVP. But in my opinion, I think the victim of your own success is basically being like, you have set expectations here. Therefore, that is where everyone expects you to be.
Yeah.
And for instance, with national team, like when we won 2015, going to 2019 World Cup, everyone was like, well, if you don't win, like, is it, you know, a loss? Like, is it a failure? And you're like, yeah, kind of, because the expectation is to win. So I kind of agree with Katie Barnes and what she's saying. It is like the reality is when you get to the top of the mountain, the only place you can go is you either stay at the top or you tumble, you know, like you fall down. So it's just a harsh reality when you are one of the best players. Like you are expected to be at the top of the mountain every single time.
I completely agree with you.
I guess my thing is, if she has, you know, an MVP caliber season that is maybe just like last season, and then you have another player who has a great season, but they have that big improvement or big jump. I don't know. I just feel like they might go with that other person as she might be a victim of her success, which I also don't like that idea, you know.
Yeah,
but
I think the wording's bad for sure.
The wording is off, but I just don't think that, I don't know. I struggle with it. I'm
on Kelly's side.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, think about it. She's been MVP 3 times now?
3 times.
3 times. The bar for her is just higher. And it's like, if Nafisa Collier, who I've seen as another throwout for MVP of the year,
100%.
if she does better than Asia, like let's say Asia gets more points, more rebounds, more steals, etc. But Nafisa, compared to her own stats last year, does so much better. I think it's gonna go to Nafisa. Let's say Asia is like a little under, but still above Nafisa. Like I just think it goes performance to performance. Like I think when you're looking at MVP, you're looking at past performances in their career as a whole.
See, I don't know if I completely agree.
That's where you lost.
Kelly had a good thing going. We had a really good thing going there.
Yeah, we did. Anyway, well, we're gonna
circle back.
Yeah, we'll circle back. Speaking of one of Asia's former teammates who had a blowout first weekend, Kelsey Plum with Sparks. She had 37 points, 6 assists, 5 steals. Did Kelsey ask to be traded, or was her contract up? How did she end up at the Sparks? She didn't get
I was
traded.
confused by this too. It was like a three-way, wasn't it?
She went and negotiated.
Yeah, it was a guard for guard trade. It was
She
Jewel,
did get traded.
Jewel Lloyd.
Oh, it was a 3-way. LA
Let's
Sparks,
double check.
Aces, and Seattle. I'm pretty sure, right?
Yeah, I
so
thought it was
a trade. If she got traded and she didn't, maybe there was part of her that wanted to stay at Aces. She ends up at Sparks. She goes out first weekend and it's like, should have kept me, you know? Like has a performance like that.
But
Love that for
she
her.
wanted to get traded. She wanted
Okay.
she wanted a new environment, just a new chapter in her
well,
life.
It's kind of the same then. Like,
Yeah, it is. It's like
there was a
then I
lot of
asked
question
for
marks
this.
when she left, right? Like, why would you leave this team?
Right.
What is this going to look like? Because LA's a lot of younger players
Yeah.
as well. So she's the veteran on that team. Let me shut you all up with the question marks and watch this performance and watch me break a record and score
Right.
some 37 points. So I love that for her. I think it's the same energy, just little different circumstance.
That's
but
fair.
I get you.
Like I said this before, like thinking she wants to lead a team. Like at the Aces, she was never going to be the breakout
She's one of
star
many,
because
yeah.
she was
Right.
assisting Asia. Here, this is her team. She's running it.
Right.
Oh,
And she's
absolutely.
like, I can be the like I'll show you guys I can be the star player.
Yeah.
And she did. Opening,
Yeah, exactly.
opening man. All right. Cool.
Hell yeah.
Love that for her.
Yeah.
Also, her fit on Sunday was fired.
It was
Yeah,
so
the
fire.
fits were
so
great
fire.
this weekend in
Oh, I
WNBA.
love that suit. Every business or show, like Sports Are Fun, starts with an idea. How can you go from daydreamer to industry leader? Amazon Business accelerates your journey. With smart business buying, get everything you need to grow in one familiar place, from office supplies to IT essentials and maintenance tools. Amazon Business takes the buying experience you know and love from Amazon, plus tools that help you save costs and make insights-based decisions. Ready to bring your vision to life? Learn how at amazonbusiness.com. Well, listen, again, as sports fans, we are blessed to have WNBA back, playing multiple games in one weekend. Woo!
It was
Yay
fun.
for us.
Yeah, for us.
Who going to a sport that doesn't play multiple games in one weekend?
Oh wait,
NWSL.
wait. Hold on. What was that? We're moving to what?
Oh my God!
You're trading
Hold on,
teams.
please.
Okay, we have an outfit change.
We have
People.
an outfit change. Hold on, please.
We've got BJ covering up his Angel Reese shirt with a San Diego jersey.
I said, and I quote, I'm wearing a San Diego jersey on Monday.
And here
if
you are.
They win.
Wow.
and you came through.
Just
Okay,
if.
so
Sorry for my outfit change there, but Gotham's making me sick.
Okay. Well, I want to hear about that. So Gotham dropped another game this weekend, this time to the Wave on Friday, 1-0. It's the second in a row they've lost. And after a tough loss like this, we'll need to hear from BJ, who's now wearing a San Diego jersey, on what can be done to turn this team around.
You jump ship.
Okay. And now here is Support Your Team presented by Amazon Business. BJ, the floor is yours. What do you do in a situation like this?
You pray. You have a backup team.
Backup team important, huh? You did say San Diego was your backup team.
I've
from the
said this.
beginning
I've
of
said
the
this since the
season.
start, I think, didn't I?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
We
for
we regroup. I think right now you just have to shun Gotham, make them miss us a little bit,
Okay.
and then they'll work to get me back.
Wow.
I'm not saying I'm gone forever. I'm
he
saying
is
I'm
a
gone
season
for the
ticket
week.
holder for
I am,
Gotham.
yep.
And he is wearing San Diego.
And don't make me wear this to the game.
Listen, as a fan, you know, if you get
gotta.
pissed off, you get pissed off,
That's
and
what
you
I'm
gotta
saying.
you gotta do drastic things like this sometimes.
Midge, I still love you.
we love Midge. The thing with Gotham, I feel, is that
The
there's like
talent
a-
is there.
The talent has always been there, but I feel, I mean, you played for them, but there's
Right.
always a point in the season where it's like the pulse
Yeah.
drops and you're just waiting on somebody to do something.
Right.
They have such a talent, especially front line.
right.
Midge, Jess Silva, Jace, Esther, Ella Stevens. Like, these girls can score.
Right.
Can they?
Who's just going to step up and do it?
Why are they not?
Yeah, who's
You
just going to
know?
step up and do it? I don't know if it's like a confidence mental thing, but I have faith it's going to click. Don't.
I'm begging.
Yeah, I do have faith that it's going to click for them. It's just somebody needs to just put one away.
Yeah, I think it's they're at a point in their season where they have fallen to 8th in the standings, and they have a game in hand.
Still playoff
or no?
line.
Yeah, they have a game. They're game up on
Yeah.
most teams. They've played 10, I think. Most teams
Yeah.
have played either 9 or 8, and there's teams below them right now that are equal in points. It's just a goal differential situation. So I think that they're in the moment where they're like, what do we want our season to be? And I do think this happens for most teams in a season. There comes a point where you're like, you look in the mirror and you're like, what are we going to make of this season?
Yeah.
Are we doing it or are we not? You know? So they need to have that conversation quickly. And
one of the commentators said something on the game this weekend. I don't remember who it was, but they said they're all playing individually and not as a team. And I was like,
Yeah.
oh, this is... Because then you look at like someone like Emily Sonnet. Great game, great season so far.
Yeah,
If I'm to pick her, I would pick her as like an MVP contestant. You look at Esther, someone else who's been playing really well individually, but then you're like, what is not clicking together here?
right.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, Gotham has for the past couple seasons the issue has been scoring.
Yeah,
And I was
which
like,
is crazy
ooh,
because look at the roster.
I know. So we'll see. Well, I'm actually not surprised that San Diego is now sitting in second. So
Me neither.
Good
not
choice
surprised.
on.
Thank you.
I've been riding with them
on
too.
on the
Yeah.
jersey selection or the second team selection. Having your backup team, which is so funny. When the season started, I was actually quite concerned. I was like, San Diego, I don't expect
Same.
anything from them.
Are you serious?
Yeah,
Yeah.
they lost Gurma, they lost Shaw.
Dahlkemper.
Yeah,
Wait, are you serious?
Mid-season, 100%.
No, like I
Everybody-
thought the
everybody
complete
jumped ship.
opposite.
Even before the season started.
There was 2 teams like throughout the offseason who did the most trades that I was most excited to see, and it was Houston and there was San Diego. And I think the 2 teams went the complete opposite ways. Like one is doing really well now, and I knew it was going to take a minute for San Diego to click. But I mean, they got Adriana Leon, they got the 3 French girls. I thought they were going to be really good defensively. Like you said, they lost Gurma and Dahlkemper, so I was like, oh, it might be shaky. But offensively, I thought they were going to be really strong. And then I was right. And then you had Houston, who had Yasmin. They had Messiah Bright. They had Delaney Sheehan. And I was like, oh, this is going to do something. Crickets. But I think you're seeing 2 teams who did the most trades, and then it was to go either way.
Right.
So I thought San Diego was going to be good. And I'm surprised it took as many weeks as it did to click.
I feel like you should be a GM then if you were like, they made the right moves.
Okay.
But actually, because I had so many questions
Same.
myself with San Diego, I was like, those are big game defining, franchise defining players to
100%.
lose.
Yeah.
No, I was ready.
And to me, that looks bad when you're trying to bring in other players. But shout out to Jonas Eidevall, because I think
That's what I was gonna
without
say.
him, I don't know if this team would play the way that they play. They play like a very European possession attack. Come
Literally
on.
the same
Come on,
exact.
girl.
I had the same exact notes.
I love that.
Yes.
But like they're probably the team that I enjoy watching play the most, just from a football standpoint. Yes, I love this.
Truly.
But with him, the players he brought on, shout out BJ, not every coach can make that happen that quickly. And I think Houston's a really good example of that. You see what they're trying to do, but fetch ain't happening. They're
Yeah.
trying to make fetch happen. It's not happening.
Yeah.
Whereas San Diego, I'm like, I love. That's a team I would want to play for if I could, just because it's
sure.
beautiful to watch.
Yeah.
Do you think San Diego will keep this up? Like,
Oh,
this
yeah.
momentum?
I think they're only gonna get
I've,
stronger.
like,
I think
gotten
they're
better,
only going to
better.
get better. So when the season started, before games started, I was like, I have zero expectations of San
Yeah,
Diego. Don't
they're gonna
expect
be in the
anything from them.
Chicago.
Right.
Yeah.
Their first game, it was either their first or second game that I watched. I was like, oh, there's something here. The style in which they're playing is a European style that we haven't seen really ever in the NWSL. And I was impressed by it. And so I was like, my expectations went up. And I'm not surprised that they're sitting in second right now.
I'm not surprised. They also have a lot of depth. They have a lot of attacking players.
Yes.
Like when these other teams, like look at Washington Spirit, who's fallen a little bit because of their injuries. San Diego can bring in a lot of different players. They have 3 17-year-olds who are playing really well.
San Diego made a lot of moves, what I thought were bad moves in the offseason. And Houston also made a lot of moves.
Yeah.
And I was hopeful that wouldn't be the case with Yaz and Delaney both leaving Gotham, going to Houston. But in my opinion, we're seeing what I expected from them. And by them, I mean Houston.
Really? I had higher hopes. I did really have higher hopes for them.
did
like
too.
they've been the last couple seasons bottom of the table, not making playoffs, and I thought they would have a playoff run. Did I think they were going to win? No, but I thought they were going to be more competitive. I thought they would be in like the realm that Louisville is right now.
What do you think they need to change in order for them to not be considered a team where you go where dreams die?
I'm like,
as you
they need to
said?
relocate. To
Yeah, I was about to
Austin.
say the Heat. I don't know.
Really?
Like the
Yeah.
location.
You think that's it? That's the only thing?
No, I'm kidding.
so
No.
sorry.
No, but
There's something.
it's almost like an energy mentality there. I feel that just it doesn't always click. They're one of those teams where they'll have the best game against like an Orlando or a Kansas City, and then whoever else they play, they got mollywopped by Portland this
yeah.
weekend.
Mollywops, like, for real.
They did what they lost 4-1.
Yeah,
Yeah.
They got spanked.
They got whooped.
Yeah.
And it's just, I feel like they drop lower than the level of the competition that they're playing against unless it's a really good team. And it never fully comes together. Like, I feel bad for Yaz.
No, same.
Because she tries to put the team on her back, but you're not getting the best out of Yaz by doing that.
For sure. Yeah.
And I
No,
do
it's
think,
tough.
like, speaking of Yaz, and then also adding, like, you had these big flashy players come into these teams. Like, I'm using Jaden Shaw to North Carolina, and then I'm using Yaz to Houston. And these players are not doing anything. Like, you would think they were going to, if you're, in my eyes, if you're a national team player and you are someone who's consistently called up, you should be doing something on the NWSL level no matter what.
You think it was a premature move for them to go to switch teams then? You're getting called in consistently to national team.
Yeah.
Actually,
Right.
this is a great question for you. You're
No.
getting consistently called into national team. You're playing with a team where you're starting consistently. You get a lot of minutes. You fit in well. You're maybe
producing.
a star. Producing. Is it the best move to switch teams at that moment?
And in both their careers, they're new national team girls technically. And
Yeah.
then you go to a team where you're supposed to be the star and you don't show out. I think that looks bad on you.
I do think there is the question of what environment will put me in the best position to what environment do I want to be in and day out? And then also what do I need to improve on, keep at the level that it's at to stay on the national team, right? So it's not a question I can answer. I think that, like you said, they were like, especially she was doing well at Gotham. She
This
was
like the glue. to me
right,
at Gotham.
100%. She was the one who was probably producing the most. So it was an interesting move, and one that you're like, are you going to look back on that and be like, dang, that wasn't, that led to maybe not getting called on the national team. And who knows? I don't know. The roster hasn't come out I
think it drops tomorrow.
Oh, so it'll be
Yeah.
interesting to see if that will have affected it. Hopefully
Yeah.
it does not, because I actually think that Yaz has played really well on
She
the national
has.
team
Yeah.
when she's gotten minutes, which she's gotten a lot of looks. So, and sometimes
And do you
it
think
is-
that being on a bad club team affects your call up?
it can, if you haven't cemented yourself on like, I deserve to be with the national team, but it's like, you can be on a bad club, but if you play bad on that club,
Yeah.
then it's going to affect it.
Yeah.
You need to be
know?
the star on that, on that team.
Exactly.
And I just feel like she has not been. And she was supposed to be.
Right. Yeah. Well, speaking of another star who has always been consistent, Marta. Can't get rid of her. She's called back into Brazil. By get rid of her, I would never want that. Darian, thoughts on this? I was pumped when I saw this.
I was not surprised.
Oh, I was not happy.
No, I'm so happy. I did an interview with her before the NWSL championship last year, and she was very emotional talking about the final and retiring from Brazil. And I was like, if they needed you, would you go back in? And she's like, if they really needed me, I would absolutely be there, whether it's on the sidelines, blah blah. Girl,
She's going to be on the field with a cane.
yeah, she's gonna be pushing 50
And her lipstick.
and still, yep, and the Maybelline lipstick. No, I'm not surprised at all, because I think even having just like, think about going to play against Marta, you're already like,
Oh my God.
oh
Yeah.
shit, okay. Imagine having that on your team in your home country, where you're playing in these sold out stadiums in Brazil with Marta
Right.
leading, whether it's on the sideline or as your captain in the middle. That's a game changer. Of course you want her on your team. Even if she's not playing a lot, her energy and presence there is massive.
Do you think that she can stick it out long enough to play in that 2027 World
Yeah.
Cup? Really?
You think so?
Because she plays 90 minutes
That's true.
every
No, that is a good
weekend.
point.
Listen, she's 39 years old right now,
Yeah.
so she'll be what, 41?
Yeah. She'll be
By
41.
the time that comes around.
I mean, even if she's
maybe
not
it'll
playing
be
the
her
full
last
90
one.
for Brazil, just coming in as a super sub could
Right.
be crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I agree.
That's fair.
we did get a great update from Savvy King. She is back home, healing up after obviously that very, very scary moment. So thankful that she's okay, stable, healing, and just hope that she takes all the time and figure out exactly, what she needs and is taken care of fully. So.
Yeah. I hope that her family too feels all the love and the support.
Yeah.
And it was cool this weekend to see teams, wear shirts and show her on the monitor and just like honor her. I love that. I think the PA and like teams personally, the players are the ones that lead that.
Yeah.
Do a really,
nice.
really good job when things do go wrong or something happens like that. They're so supportive.
For
like
sure.
I think the NWSL is really, really great about that from the player side.
Yeah, completely agree. Very, very thankful to see that she's back, doing all right. Well, to end on a high note, did you guys see this little shimmy during the rain Louisville
The
game?
ball getting like stuck.
Has that ever happened to you?
Oh,
I feel like I've seen it once or twice, like in my playing days.
I was trying to think of like the goofiest thing that's happened to me.
What do you do in that scenario? Like as a defender?
You just
Kelly,
you literally just try. It's like, who's gonna chest this ball to get it out of the situation that it's in? And I mean, it's in a
I
dangerous
feel
spot.
like
It
I
was
would have
in-
like shoved somebody
right.
as a forward. not
Right,
as
as
an
a forward.
defender. Yeah.
If I'm the keeper, I would have just walked over and been like, "We can end this."
just thrown a fist into the middle to punch it out.
It was so silly. I was like, "Oh my god!" Aaron Wright was giggling about.
Yeah, they were all
about
laughing after. It was
a good one.
hilarious.
Kelly, I just want to say thank you for not bringing up my Orlando Pride.
I was going to, but I figured I would spare you and skip it. But how are you feeling?
Honestly, I'm a little sad. I'm obviously
Oh,
still
yeah.
keeping hope. It's still very early.
Right.
But it's the third time that they lost 0-1 this season. And obviously they're the reigning champs, so they do have that target on their back. And so teams are doing they're studying.
Right.
And they're reading this team.
Right.
So it's like, we need to score. Like, we
know.
need to score. We need more shots on target.
Yeah.
It's just not enough for me right now.
But if you're gonna lose to anyone, KC's like the best option, I think, for you.
Is it the best for us?
Not for us personally, but for Greydy and her team. Yeah.
No, it's true. It's true. That's the matchup that everybody is
Yeah.
always, or at least these past 2 years, has been talking about. KC versus Orlando. It was a big deal last year. It obviously determined like the undefeated reign of Orlando, but I don't know. I'm like, Orlando's still in it. They still are good, and they just probably. There's a lot of pressure. It's like, again, the expectation is so high.
Yeah.
So they lose 3 games.
They're
If they lost
victim
3
to their
games
own
4
success.
seasons ago, people would be like, bless, like, thank God. It's true.
It's true.
All of the
It's true.
4 seasons ago, slanders killed me. Guys,
It
I know
is
we were
true.
bad. I get it. We don't have to say it again.
Oh my gosh.
Wait, before we move on though, I do want to can we talk about the tie, the Utah
the barn
Washington
burner.
Spirit?
Let's talk about it.
That was crazy.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Crazy.
It's always the most like kind of unsuspecting game. Like I was like, well, I think
Like, that was
Spirit
kind of the game of the
probably
week.
gonna whoop. Yeah,
interest
that's for
wise.
sure.
Yeah.
Was
But
it
Utah?
was it Friday night? No.
I think it was Saturday.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So it was like those
Saturday.
Friday night, Amazon Prime Friday night games were just absolutely
Bunker.
electric the past couple weekends. So I was curious if it was that one. It wasn't.
I think it was Saturday.
Saturday.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
Saturday.
I was in a time warp with a 2.5-year-old this weekend. So.
Every day was Groundhog's Day. But Spirit keeps going down and then coming back last minute. I'm like, guys, just score earlier.
I know,
Also
but they were
defend.
right.
Right.
Also block some space.
Yeah.
Right.
But they were kind of doing that at the end of last season. They had that chip on their shoulder and that ability to be like, we are like, never say die attitude.
Which I do like, but I'm also
Yeah.
like, we don't always have to go there.
Right. Yeah. No, I feel that.
tired?
Yeah, aren't you tired?
Yeah,
'Cause
I
we
feel
are.
like I've sometimes there was like a period of time with the national team where that would happen to us. It was like we have to throw everything forward and get it done in these dying seconds. We're like, this is never over until it's over, and we were coming back and winning, but it is exhausting.
It's exhausting. But I do love that the last goal was a defender goal because it was Tara
Yeah.
McKeown dribbling all the way up basically and then assisting Casey Kruger.
Yeah,
For sure. But that is something when you play a team that has that type of mentality, not something you want to see if you're on
Yeah.
the other side. For sure.
If I see Tara McKeown coming at me, I'm like, everyone defend, get in the box.
She was a forward.
She was a
There
forward.
you go. All right, switching gears from the pitch to the rink. PWHL finals are set. It is Minnesota versus Ottawa. Ottawa, the
Shout
third
out.
seed, beat Montreal, which Montreal selected based on their little special rule that they could, the one seed could choose 3 or 4. They chose 3 and they lost.
Oh my
BJ,
God.
thoughts?
So,
Walk me through it again.
so I
Told
had
you
some
so.
reasoning last week. That's out the window. We
Right.
love an underdog story. And yeah, I'm rooting for number 3.
Are you? Ottawa's your team now.
I guess. I don't have another
God.
jersey in my bag.
There
so
you
just
go. I thought
imagine I
you-
changed
I thought
again.
you did. Mary
Let's
Poppins
pull it
over
out.
there
Yeah,
with
just
that
imagine I
bag.
changed again.
Oh my God. I love this storyline. I'm like,
I do
good
too.
on Ottawa and Minnesota. I mean, Minnesota there was nothing that affected them in terms of like, they didn't get selected. They did get whatever. But Ottawa to be able to like,
Yo.
you chose, 1 seed, you chose us a 3 seed, bet.
Hold my mustard.
Exactly.
That was sick. To be the team picked, the motivation you
yeah.
now
Oh
have
my-
filled me with. Actually, thank you. Bless you.
Yeah.
Because now I'm on a revenge tour this entire
100%.
series.
Yeah, you don't want to see me coming.
But now
Yeah,
that
why
they
would
beat
you
the
set
number
yourself
1
that?
seed, are they guaranteed the win?
I mean,
you tell me, BJ.
You beat the number 1 seed. That's your hardest game out the gate.
I love this math.
Now you have an easy win.
But do you think that they're going to drop their mentality because they beat the 1 seed and they're like, oh, it's going to be a shoo-in because they're playing the 4? Are we doing this again?
I need to
remove
think
the
over
one,
this.
carry
actually. Get back to me in 1 to 2 hours.
This is your first outfit change of a episode, isn't it?
Yeah, you've
Good
had
job.
one.
Have I had one?
Because when Grady got you the...
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, you had the little P. Beckers.
Want to be like me?
Whoa.
Well, maybe.
Anyway, speaking of outfit changes, the U.S. women's national team has a new jersey drop celebrating the 40 years of team legacy. What do we think, gang?
I love them.
Obsessed.
I need one.
Dare I
actually already
say-
hit Nike. I said, need it. They said, okay.
Wait, shut up. That's so
Dare I
cool.
say this is
Yep.
my favorite jersey,
Ever?
Gorgeous.
maybe
the
ever.
US.
It's gorgeous.
Obsessed.
Wait, can we talk about, though, the people they chose?
Yes.
I did send a text. Okay. Hear me out. It's
Sure.
40 years celebrating, and we're putting people... I'm looking at pictures. There's Tara McKeown. There's Lily Johannes. We're picking people who have less than 10 caps, and we're celebrating history. I don't know. Get Kelley O'Hara in a shirt. Celebrate your
Listen,
past.
maybe folks
Celebrate
weren't
your roots.
available.
You know what? You
would
need a
have
you need a
been-
good 20 years with the
Yes,
team.
you need... Oh, I just gagged you. Put your elders in who got you the 4 stars on the jersey.
Respect your elders, yeah.
Yeah. And I don't care if Triple Espresso is pregnant and back hurts. Put them all in there. I don't
Get him
care.
a large.
Get to their house, set up a
Yeah,
photo shoot.
set up a photo shoot. I don't
and-
care.
yeah,
We're celebrating
exactly.
legacy here.
No, I guess I missed that it was like celebrating 40 years. I don't disagree. I think this would have been actually really cool if they got people from
That's what I'm
all the generations,
saying.
just as like obviously. So the way it works, BJ, is they shot people who were in camp, and these are the people that
Would you not have flown
are in the
out?
jerseys. They would have flown me out, but
Would you not have sat in the plane?
No, I would have. I think that would have
If
been.
offered?
I think that would have been really. I think that would have been very smart of them to do that. And I would love to see that. I think that'd be a really cool shoot. The reality is, I am Under Armour, so I don't think I could be doing.
I think Under Armour will let it slide.
I mean, I could. Maybe I could, but I don't know.
I think Under Armour understood when you wore the jersey on the field. So
They
I think we
did.
can
Yeah,
make
so
another
they
quick
did for the
exception.
photo shoot. Yeah.
Right. I'm hearing excuses, but I'm not hearing solutions.
I feel like these kits, especially the navy stripes,
Yeah.
I like it. You know what people? So I love the navy stripes because I feel like it's cool for streetwear.
I like that one
100%.
too.
Like it's
I think both of these
100%
both.
a streetwear kit. People didn't like the blue, the navy, the change in the blue.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Oh, like
that's the only gripe that
I
I
don't
saw.
mind
I mean,
it.
but they did,
I love it.
Nike did say, they wanted to disrupt. So the primary kit disrupts the traditional all-white uniform with abstract stars in faded denim-inspired blues,
Love.
while the secondary kit provides an obsidian background with red and blue stardust stripes.
Stardust.
I'm
Stardust.
obsessed because I feel like the star, the off-white,
Oh,
is like vintage and gives that vintage feel, and then the dark blue obsidian is like gives just that chic, classy kind of.
it gives retro too.
Giving
does.
all
It does give
American.
retro, but it gives like an elevated, and I love them both. I'm obsessed. Might be my favorite kit ever.
It's
and
giving like
Favorite kit
bulls,
ever?
like the
they are
bulls.
so lucky. I no longer play because if I would have put one of those kits on, damage.
Wait,
It would
I
have
would
been
have
Stolen
been.
the show.
I would have been absolutely.
It would have been a hat trick.
Destroying people in that thing.
Did you see all the other countries' new kits?
I love them.
Oh my!
Yeah.
I
Who
need
was
the
your favorite?
I need the Brazil one. for sure.
Yeah.
The Brazil was sick.
It's just
You need
beautiful.
a Marta Orlando and a Marta Brazil.
Ooh.
Need it.
I love Nigeria. I think
They're
Nigeria
so
always has
good.
the
Always.
best.
So
I'm
good.
like, they're so good.
The coolest colors.
Right. But I think it's
best
because I'm
kits.
obsessed with green.
Me too.
Yeah.
Green's
Okay,
my
fair.
favorite.
Yeah.
Wait, so what's actually y'all's favorite kits of all time? U.S.
I think these two.
Really?
Truly. And
Truly,
it's
truly.
so sad that I didn't get to play in it. But here we are.
Here we are.
Can be a fan.
Right.
I'm trying to think of like throwback US
Because
kits.
there's a throwback or there's a kit from a long time ago. I think it might have been Adidas back in the day, and it was the stars.
Oh.
I'm trying to
I
think.
think because I feel like it's kind of like I've seen this white jersey before
It's nostalgic.
with the stars. Yes, it's very nostalgic.
Yeah.
It's very vintage. It's
How
like
long are these
timeless.
kits going to be worn? Do we know?
Probably 3 months, knowing Nike. No, maybe.
Oh, you're talking this one?
Yeah.
Wait,
Yeah,
is it?
I think this one was my favorite.
Yes.
Oh, that is
Yeah.
cool. I do
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah,
Retro
cool.
stars, the red lining.
Yeah.
It was Adidas,
Oh,
you're
that's
right.
fire.
That is
Yeah.
cool.
Shout
That is
out.
beautiful. Beautiful. What year was that? Does it say?
94.
Yeet.
Whoa.
I was
They
not
did it
born
right in the
yet.
90s.
That
You
was-
wouldn't know.
I wouldn't know.
When were you born? 2000?
2000.
Oh my God.
Wow.
Hilarious. All right. What else do we got in the group chat?
Oh, I have another thing.
Yeah, let's hear it. Our group chat was blowing up. It's always blowing up.
Turning the page on this topic and moving on to the next. A magazine. The Indiana Fever was on the cover of Sports Illustrated this week.
Bruh.
They were on the
Oh my God, I'm
cover
crying.
of Sports Illustrated this week. And Kelsey Mitchell had a very cute reaction.
Our
She said-
friend.
yes, our friend.
Our
I know.
friend.
We
I hope
love
she
her.
remembers us.
Friend of show. Kelsey Mitchell, can't wait to show my mom. So cute.
Very
That was
sweet.
her reaction.
I think that's beautiful, especially because she lost her dad recently, and her dad was her coach growing up. So I'm sure she would have loved to show her dad this, but to have her mom still is a blessing. So
And she
I'm
said it was her
just-
first magazine cover.
Yeah,
Very,
it's
very
cute.
sweet.
It's awesome.
And I do like that it was all the returning players on Indiana. It wasn't anyone new,
Yeah.
which I thought was like a nice nod to like last season and this season. Like I thought that was cool.
Well, it was very cute, and you love to see it.
Should we buy it?
Yeah,
Can
get
someone
it.
just send it to us?
We have that Sports Illustrated. We should get another one. Yeah, maybe.
I'm serious, please.
Okay, we are losing the plot at this point because now it's section of sports are fun, which is perfect because we have the giggles and sports are fun and
They
we love
are
to giggle.
fun. And Juju Watkins, one of our favorite players who we love talking about,
We do.
just
We love
got
Juju.
a mural in her hometown of Watts, California. And I love me a mural.
Mm-hmm.
And I just think this one doesn't look as much like her as I would have expected, because I don't know if you saw back in February, there was a huge mural in downtown LA
Uh-huh.
of Juju Watkins, and it depicted her actually perfectly.
And it was a
And I
mural.
think-
It wasn't like a roll-on picture situation.
No, it wasn't.
Okay.
But this one, I mean,
It's pretty.
Her edges are there,
know.
which I love. All that
The
bun.
bun.
But I just think one part of her that makes her, her is her nose, and I feel like I don't see her nose here.
Yeah.
So I think that's a big part of her beauty, her face, and that's the one thing that's missing. But again, to be celebrated in your hometown like that, that's incredible.
Very
Yeah.
cool. Very
When
cool.
someone makes a mural,
Yeah.
like, does she know about it beforehand? Is she helping pick it out?
I have no idea.
I'm
That's
going to
a
be
good
completely
question.
honest. When it comes to murals and the accuracy of which they are painted, tough. And I don't know if I've
Yeah.
ever seen a mural that I'm like, they nailed it,
Well,
Yeah,
that
or a bronze
downtown
statue.
Yeah, exactly.
Listen, the
God
downtown
damn.
LA one of her was
Oh, wait, let me
spot
see.
on.
Yeah,
it was
that
a
was
Nike
sick.
one.
Dope
Yeah.
to be honored,
But
but,
I-
let's keep our features
Yeah.
that
Right.
define us.
sure.
Yeah.
For sure. For sure. We already kind of touched on this, but another sports are fun moment was mustard packets in the longest ever PWHL semi. You guys, if somebody mid World Cup final was like, if you eat this mustard packet, you will win, I would say, I'll take my chances. I'm not eating it.
For real?
Disgusting.
You don't like mustard?
100%.
I like mustard. Guys, when think about the hardest workout you've ever had, your mouth is dry.
It
And
is
somebody
the-
But you
hands
can wash
a
it down with
mustard
water.
packet?
No, absolutely not. I don't do mustard straight up at all. I'll like put it in
A hot dog?
no mustard.
What happened to Sports Are Fun?
No, absolutely not. I'd be like, you guys can no pickle juice, sure.
Give me a pickle shot.
Pickle juice, sure.
Nah,
Give me
I
a
like
pickle
mustard on
shot.
my veggie sandwich. I like mustard shit, put mustard on my pickles too. Like, I like mustard.
Wow.
It's so good. So this is perfect for me.
Absolutely not.
I don't know.
love
I'm
it.
just like, there's not a more efficient. Like, wouldn't you just prefer to take a pickle juice shot like in the middle of a game than like have to eat mustard?
I will say pickle is probably easier.
Maybe
Mustard's a
come
little
in
thick.
they come in a shot.
maybe they're afraid that it will spill.
I don't know if we can have a concession stand
But
back
yellow
behind the
on your
bench,
jersey?
but
That part.
right?
But I mean, shout out to Amanda DeLuca, the head physical therapist who is
Yeah.
making sure that they are hydrated after losing, all that salt in their bodies.
Yeah, she was taping them to the glass. That's so funny. But got another great week ahead of us in sports. The WNBA season keeps rolling with some key games this week. We have the Liberty and Fever Saturday. Ooh, that's gonna be good. Is that in New York or? I'm not gonna
Liberty
be here.
Fever.
Is it no?
It's away.
In Fever. Okay,
damn.
cool. In Fever, LOL. Saturday, Jewel Lloyd returns to Seattle with her new team. For the NWSL, we're keeping our eyes on if Orlando, Greydy, can bounce back against Utah. They better.
that would be actually crazy.
Yeah, the Reign taking on Spirit. That'll be a good game, actually.
Yeah.
Because Reign, I feel like, are kind of like holding on by their fingernails and
Yeah, they were like figured it out defensively.
but they can't score.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And guess who can? Spirit. And whether the Wave, BJ's new number one team, continue their winning ways against the Courage.
That'll be a really
That'll be
good
a good game.
Yeah.
I will.
Yeah.
And finally, PWHL finals start tonight. If you're tuning in when this drops, which is Tuesday.
And give a shout. You're going where tonight?
Oh yeah. And we have World Sevens football this week. Wednesday, Thursday, Friday.
Where
in
can we
Portugal. It's on DAZN.
Yeah.
Let's
Shout out to
go.
Zone.
Yeah. And kicks off Wednesday. We'll have a champion by Friday. I leave tonight, so
That's sick.
Send us
I need to pack.
pictures.
Send us
I
vlogs.
will. I will be. So if you're in Portugal, if you're at the tournament, come find me. Say hello. But yeah, that's it for Sports Are Fun. Thanks again for tuning in, liking, subscribing, following. We appreciate y'all, and we'll see you guys again next week. Have a good one.
Bye.
Bye.